Cool, you ready?
Yep.
Cool. Hey guys, welcome back. We are here to talk about probably the oldest thing in snowmobiling, besides a mountain bar, which is part of the handlebars. But you know, for the longest time, a lot of snowmobilers like blue collar guys, and you know, if something doesn't move, we just grab a bigger cheater bar, right? Because we have more leverage. So people for the longest time have thought if we have taller handlebars or higher bars, that we have more leverage on the sled. And I feel like that probably couldn't be like less true. I don't know the right word. My vocabulary is pretty big. But so a lot of people stand on the snowmobile in the showroom or wherever they are. They stand on it, they lock their knees, they lock their elbows, and like, this is where my bar should be, right? No. You want to bend your knees and then have your arms straight. This is the way I do it. Everyone's different. I'm not saying this is the only way to do it, but this is the way I do it. So I bend my knees and I put my arms straight. These bars, this is the Polaris 5-inch bar. This is the shortest bar that Polaris makes, and for a lot of people, this is really good. In my opinion, you know, if you're, I don't know, anything under like 6'2", 6'3", these are probably still too tall for you. I'm like just under 6 foot. With boots on, I look 6 foot, which is pretty rad. But I mean, when you hit the hill, guys, the bars automatically come closer to you already, okay? So another big thing with that is I ride with my feet really far back so I can push my weight forward. But if I have a taller bar, I can't get my weight near as far forward. And a lot of people, especially new riders, they ride with their feet a little bit too far forward when they're going up the hill. And so the bars can come into your chest, and now you're naturally stepping back, right? And if you're wheeling, now you're wheeling even more because your weight's further back. Wheelies are really cool, but it doesn't mean you're going anywhere unless you have a boatload of track speed. So that's a big thing, is where the rider position is at with the bar height, okay? And think of the steering column. Say my arm is the steering column. There's a lot more energy up here than there is down here, okay? Now all of this energy with a taller bar is getting transferred into your back, right? And people are getting tired. Their shoulder blades are getting tired, their back's getting tired. And unless you skip leg day, which maybe some of you do, you have a lot more power in your hips and your legs than you do with your upper body, okay? Unless you're large, you just have a lot of power everywhere. But large isn't human. You grew up next to a power plant. We're not gonna get into that, but, if you have taller bars, the energy is getting transferred into your back a lot more. But when I'm riding, guys, I'm riding with my hips and my legs, okay? This is where my power is. It's not up here, all right? Another thing too, I'll show you my sled in here in a minute. It has lower bars than this. But if I'm side hilling, okay, now if I lose the side hill, at least with lower bars, I have a lot better chance of throwing my hips in and getting it back into the hill, right? If I have taller bars up here, now the sled has leverage on me and I have a lot more chance of going down. I have no power up here, right? But if I'm down here, I have a lot better chance, like I said, of throwing my hips in a little bit and trying to get my weight back into the hill. So that's a very, very big thing we see on tours a lot. I know this is a really old thing, but man, we still see it all the time is bar height, okay? Something else I want to talk about when it comes to controls. We see a lot of riders with their throttle down and their brake up, okay? This is the exact opposite of how I set my snowmobile. This is my dad's sled. I just moved this stuff to show you guys. But look at my wrists. You see how they're really bent? Okay? This creates a lot more arm pump right here. All right? And especially, look at my wrists on this one with my throttle down. Okay? And people tell me all the time, well, it's so I can go like this. Well, that's not cool either. So, this is home all the time. This is junk. Don't ever use it. Right? So I ride with my throttle. Everyone's a little bit different, but I ride with my throttle just a tiny bit up, but look at my wrist. See how it's a lot straighter? Okay, these are a couple little things that have worked for me for a really long time. So my wrist is a lot straighter, but this wrist is still kind of bent, right? Now we'll come to my sled. This is one of my personal sleds. You notice how the throttle is still up, which my wrist is pretty straight, but look where my brake is. See how my brake's farther down? Look how straight my wrist is, right? Versus being like this. There's a big difference, right? So a couple of these little setup things, guys, like this, I mean, obviously lowering your bars costs a little bit of money. These are built by Kyber. These are about a 1/2 inch to 3/8 lower than the 5-inch bar. This is a Chaos, so it wheelies a lot, so I want my center of gravity a little bit closer into the sled. And like I said, I want them lower, right? Because it's naturally gonna wheelie quite a bit, and I want all my energy to be in versus being out and exposed. So with that, you know, these are free to do this, right? To adjust your throttle and your brake so your wrists are straight, arm pump isn't near as bad, especially on a sled that's got a lot of power. You know, a couple little things, guys. I mean, take it for what it's worth. Some people are gonna listen, some people aren't. But like I said, in my opinion, if you're under 6'2", 6'3", somewhere in there, especially with your boots on, you need lower bars. It's gonna help you tremendously. I don't care how my snowmobile feels when I'm sitting in the shop, okay? I don't care how my snowmobile feels when I'm in the showroom. I care how it feels when I'm sidling above a creek and I'm about ready to die. That's where I care, okay? And people tell me, well, you know, I like it through the bumps because my back doesn't hurt. Well, you're not riding through the bumps with your knees locked, right? You're gonna pass out. Bend your knees, put your arms straight, and that's probably about where your bars need to be. Just a simple little tech tip. Like I said, I just spit a little bit. Oops, my bad. My body's tired from the winter. We'll go with that. But simple little tech tip. And like I said, it's one of the oldest things in the book, but I still feel like it's super overlooked. We see it all the time, and hopefully it helps you out a little bit. Thanks, guys.